You're not gonna tell him?
I mean, I might not. I don't know.
You probably not.
I may not even know when we start. Oh, you can know when we start. Yeah, you can roll. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. So so we'll just we're gonna hang out and talk. Yeah. So it was this time last year we did your testimony, right?
The testimony.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were you nervous?
Yeah.
Are you nervous now?
Well, yeah.
Why?
No. It's a lot here.
Is it? Oh. Well, I'm here with Chuck Krupnik. I remember I was thinking about this morning. This might be insulting, but I remember I was like, man, how the heck do you say that guy's last name? And I got a lot going on. I was like, I'll just call him Chuck. And then I was like, whoa, this guy's not going anywhere. I better learn his name.
Right.
And we were together when you taught me how to say it. I think we were at a rehab dropping someone or for a meeting, and I was like, how do you say your last name? You're like, and I would just like, I was like, right? You just, it's Krupnik. Krupnik.
Polish.
What? It's Polish. That makes so much sense.
Polish German.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
More Polish.
More Polish.
I believe it was Krupnicki when it was before my
Krupnik.
Nitsky.
Krupnik.
It had the SKI at the end of it.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. My grandpa always called me Chatteruski.
Chatteruski. It was always been Krupnik, but I can remember my grandparents telling me, when they came over, that they changed it. And we ate Polish food.
What are the stereotypes about Polish people?
Dumb. Polak. I got called the Polak.
And you're from Texas, so that doesn't help.
Well, I'm actually from Baltimore.
Really?
I'm born and raised in Baltimore.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
Went to school, graduated high school, and the day I graduated high school, I moved to Texas.
Okay.
Graduated, and I actually lived closer to D.C. than I did Baltimore.
Really? I've never been to D.C. We're going to try to bring the boys this summer.
Every year from kindergarten until I graduated high school, if you went on a field trip, you either went to New York City or Washington, D.C.
Huh.
Every year.
And how old were you when you moved to Texas?
18.
18? Oh, okay. Wow. And you weren't even, I guess your brain development wasn't quite complete. It happens at 20-something, right?
Right. So I'm implant.
Yeah, so you weren't, if you would have been like 25, you probably wouldn't be a Cowboys fan.
No.
You were still in development.
What did they tell me? I was born in Baltimore, raised in Texas.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah. So
I gave up the Baltimore thing when I moved.
Okay, you just went all in.
All in.
Texas.
All in. Now, since I'm in Louisiana, I'm not giving up the Cowboy thing that easy.
No?
No. Well, they stink so bad, so I might have to go to.
I mean, the Saints aren't too much better. Right. I don't know if they're better at all.
I've always teased you guys. I've never put a bag over my face to.
Right. Yeah. So you, how long have you been in Baton Rouge now? Is it 2 years?
In Baton Rouge, well, I was locked up at the work release for 4 years, 4.5 years.
In West Baton Rouge?
Uh-huh.
4.5 years, work release.
Work release.
Okay.
Work release, and I was a trustee. I wasn't even working. I stayed in the jail.
Wow. You never got to leave?
No, I mean I did leave. I was a trustee, so the job I had, I got to leave every once in a while. Of course, we worked in the garden a lot. We picked up trash in the street. I didn't do all that much. I mostly stayed in the jail.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to rewind a little bit. So you have been incarcerated?
Yes.
Okay. And this is just because I know you. I know most of your story. I didn't know you were from Baltimore, so I learned something new today. Sure, I'll learn more. So you're 18 when you moved to Dallas. Did you misbehave in high school and stuff, or?
I had a little bit of misbehaving. I mean, I did my little stints in juvenile hall, and
oh wow, okay.
And then when I turned 18, my dad sat me down and said, "Son, you're in for a world of hurt if you continue doing what you're doing." And then I didn't get in trouble again until I was in my 40s.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you get in trouble for as a teenager?
Most of the time, just being mischievous and breaking and entering, doing stupid things. Not really stealing, but just
So I would put breaking and entering outside of mischievous.
Well, I wasn't breaking and entering to steal things. Like
Just going to watch TV.
Let's break in. Let's break into the concession stand on the football field.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
Okay.
So I mean,
yeah.
I wasn't going in like
You're
going
not
through
like armed robbery.
right? Or going in people's houses, going through their underwear drawers, stuff like that.
Okay. I think the concession stand may be in the realm of mischievous still.
And then when I was 18, right before I graduated high school. Oh no, excuse me. After I graduated high school, when I moved to Texas, I got arrested for possession of a concealed deadly weapon.
What was that weapon?
It was the knife, the bayonet they give you in the military.
Uh-huh.
My brother had bought it. He discharged from the military in Missouri, and back then it was cheaper to buy a little $800 car than it was to fly. So he bought a little $800 car, threw all his stuff in the back, drove to Texas, and gave me the car.
What?
6 months later, I get pulled over, and for some reason they tore that car apart and they found this knife.
You didn't know it was there?
No.
Oh, wow.
I did not know it was there, and I went to court, and I mean, it stayed on my record for 10 years. Every time I got pulled over after that, it was by gunpoint.
You would think in Texas you could have a knife.
Yeah, but not concealed underneath the seat.
I had a friend of mine. He was a pastor friend of mine. He got arrested. He was in college, at a Bible college in Texas, had a pistol under his seat, and he went to jail. Like they put that sucker in jail. And this was like straight-laced, good kid. Put his butt in jail. I'm like, Texas, you would think you could have a gun in Texas?
Yeah, I went to jail. My dad had to come bail me out. Oh, it was bad. When my dad took
For a knife?
For a knife.
That's wild.
Yeah. When my dad took you to the Waffle House, you were in trouble.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
So grand slam.
Bam.
Bam.
And in my lifetime, I did a few trips to Waffle House.
Is that code, or did you actually go to Waffle House?
No, we went to Waffle House.
Oh.
When you went to Waffle House, you done something, you did something, or you were about to do something, or you know something. Oh, yeah.
Huh. Not too bad.
No.
Did he buy breakfast?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that stayed on my record. Like I said, every time I got pulled over, they would pull me out at gunpoint, and then that finally went away. And then I didn't get in trouble again until I was in my 40s.
Wow. So high school, mischievous, having fun. Did you have a good experience in high school?
Oh, yeah, I did okay. And I was a ball player. I played baseball through all that. Okay. Through all the mischievous stuff, I played ball. Yeah.
What position did you play?
Pitcher.
Really?
Yeah, I was highly scouted. And
come on.
Yeah. I was 16 years old throwing the ball about 82 miles an hour at 16.
Really?
And my dad had hooked us up with a scout, and he wanted me to get over 200 pounds, and I couldn't do it. Now I can, but
yeah, you've made your dad proud.
Yeah, I haven't made him proud. So they didn't. I couldn't get over 200 pounds. So, but I still, I struggled. Then I tore my knee out, and after I tore my knee out, I came back and was even better than I was before that. But
really.
But the scouts aren't, they can go down the street and get somebody who can throw a little bit faster with no damage.
Right.
So that went by the wayside.
Wow. I'm sure that was tough.
Oh, yeah, I loved it. But I mean, I don't have no regrets because I went back and after I had the surgery and after I got hurt, I went back and I knew I was, I knew I was good enough. I just wasn't healthy enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You still love baseball?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
One of my bucket lists is to coach a little league team. I don't want to coach 10-year-old. I want to coach the first year. I think that would be so fun.
Pretty sure that's I remember, I think that's an easy goal to achieve. I was putting my kids in soccer, and I got guilt tripped into being a soccer coach because they're so desperate for coaches.
Right.
And I know they're desperate because they asked me to do it. And I have no idea what I'm doing. And so there was this little boy on the team. He was Hispanic, and Hispanics, they really care about soccer
a lot.
It.
They love it.
So I'm doing my best. I mean, I'm trying to encourage the kids, run, trying to teach them how to dribble the ball, best I could. I mean, I played soccer as a little kid, but zero skills, zero knowledge of the game. So the second week, the dad walks up to me and he hands me some DVDs that he bought for me, how to coach soccer. I was like, why don't you coach him? I don't want to do this, right?
Did he coach him?
No, he didn't even help. He just bought me the DVDs. Sat on the sidelines, making me feel bad about myself.
Did you win?
I don't remember. It's not about winning. It's about
You
having
remember.
fun. I'll tell you, it was one of those church leagues that everybody's a winner, and I hate that. I think that's like a bad thing.
You remember my first year playing baseball, my mom was my coach. Didn't know anything about baseball, and we went 1-9. And the only reason that we won that game is because the other team had to forfeit, not enough players.
Oh, wow.
And to this day, I can still say that was the best year of baseball I've ever played in my life.
Because you were winning.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Heck yeah.
No, we weren't winning. 1-9. We won.
Oh, 1-9.
1-9. We
I
won
misheard.
one game. And that was because the other team forfeited. We had 9.
Oh, I got you. That's why.
And they had 8.
That's funny. So baseball, mischievous, one last trip to Waffle House, juvie. How many times were you in juvenile hall?
Probably about 4 times.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
That's a lot of concession stands.
And and it's kind of it's kind of a little sad story behind all that. I can remember my parents were divorced by then, of course, and I lived with my dad, and I'd got in trouble, and I'm in the courtroom, and the judge told me, he said, "Son, this is what you got 2 options. I can move you to Texas and live with your mom, or I can send you to juvenile hall for 6 months." So he called my mom in the courtroom, and my mom said no.
Oh, wow.
I said, "Mom, do you realize they're getting ready to put me in juvenile hall?" My mom said no. So I went and did 6 months.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's a whole nother story with that. But yeah, it was tough. It was tough. I spent my whole life trying to get to my mom, and she really didn't want me to be there. So, and I have a lot of brothers, and I got 4 brothers and 4 sisters, and I was the only one that didn't live with my mom.
Oh, wow. That's tough.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, but it was all right. But you know what? The good thing about it, Chad, was that through all that, I gave my dad, my real dad, and my stepmom, I gave them a bunch of trouble, and they never, ever, ever turned their back on me.
That's amazing.
Ever.
Yeah.
To this day, my stepmom still. My dad's been dead since 15, and she's still,
2015? Yeah.
and she's still concerned, wants to know about me, what's going on, and then, even before I went to prison, I went and thanked her, because she had no idea how much she did for me.
She live in Texas or Baltimore?
She lives in Florida now.
She's in Florida, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, what brought you to Texas finally?
This is where my mom was.
Oh, so you just, after you graduated,
I
you
was
went there?
bent on coming to live with my mom, to be around my mom. I forced my way to do it. My dad told me in Baltimore, he said, "Son, if you graduate high school, the day you graduate, I will buy you a ticket and send you to Texas."
Wow.
And, my whole life, my dad never said a bad word about my mom. Not one time, ever. And that day was the only time he did. He didn't even say anything bad. He said, "Son, you're going to go down there, you're going to find out that they really don't want you there." And he was right. But by then, I'd started my own life there. So, I got married at 19.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So did you move there with a girlfriend?
No, I met her.
You met her in Texas?
I went for 2 weeks, met a girl, went back for a week, and came back and never left.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So got married.
Got married.
How long were y'all married?
13 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She was 12 years older than me.
Wow. Okay.
I wouldn't change that for anything, and anything in the world. I wouldn't change that. A lot of who I am was because of her. She just had a little difficulty. Her parents passed away and just went off the deep end. And I stayed as long as I could.
Yeah.
But,
So married for 13 years. What kind of work were you doing in Texas?
matter of fact, she had told me, she goes, "Chuck, you need to go start your profession." So I applied for Frito-Lay and got hired on at Frito-Lay.
Okay.
and I'm thinking I'm going in there to work on bag chips or sell chips. I know they sent me to their metal shop,
Okay.
and I learned how to weld, and I did it for the next 25 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They sent me all over the world. I've been all through South America and North America.
Just working on their plants?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So I did that for the next 20 years.
I think you and I have talked about this actually, because I had a cousin that worked for Frito, and he said there's nothing like a fresh Frito off the fresh out of the oven. There's nothing like it.
There isn't. Plain. I don't even like plain potato chips, but I'll sit there and eat them all day long right off the line.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So you did that. So you're on the straight and narrow at this point, right?
Yeah. I'm
behaving yourself, being an adult.
Being an adult, paying my taxes, everything.
Okay.
Bought a new vehicle, did it all. I mean, and I was making good money. I did very well.
I bet. Welders make a lot of money. It's hard work, but
I did very well. It's not that hard when you're working with stainless steel. You
Oh,
don't
really?
even get dirty.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that why they call it stainless?
I guess. It's not, I'm not messing with the black iron, so I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I stayed on that path until I was in my 40s. Then I started dating another girl that, I'm not going to sit here and say that she was bad and she was all, because, I mean, she was and so was I, but I can't blame her.
You're divorced at this point?
Oh, yeah. I'd been divorced.
Okay.
Several years.
Okay.
I got into a toxic relationship after one, after another, and after another, and after another. And so she, when I retired, Frito-Lay retired us, all of us. They laid us off. They decided they were in the chip business, not the equipment business.
So started outsourcing all that.
Oh, yeah. So I went to work for a little while with one of the people that they outsourced to, which was okay. But all the money from my severance package and my 401 I cashed all that in, and I opened up my own little shop.
Okay.
And with a lot of help from my mom, because my stepdad had passed away then. So I opened my own little shop. I had a nice little thing going. I was doing a lot of good work, and I had got enough money for a vacation. Went on vacation with the girl, come back, and every single thing in my shop was gone, down to the broom. Everything. It was a 4-car garage shop. Had 4 bay doors on it. I want to say it was like 80 by 40. Is that maybe 80 by 40?
Yeah.
40 by 100, because it had 4 doors. Gone. So I moped around, and one day a guy comes up to me and he says, "Hey, man, I got a little lick we can go hit. Let's go get some copper." And then the copper was the thing. Everybody was getting copper. $4 or $5 a pound. Well, okay, let's go. And that started a whirlwind right there. Went and got the copper. It was easy to get. I knew enough about electricity not to get hurt. That was it. I just started getting copper.
It's like stealing them out of people's houses?
Is it stealing? No. Oh, no. I never, ever went in somebody's house or even in a building. I was hitting cell phone towers.
Cell phone towers.
Cell phone towers.
Okay.
That's what I was convicted for. Cell phone towers. But no, I never went and broke in any.
So how does that even work? I mean, we're talking like you get a couple $100.
Oh, no. It depends on how you had to do your homework. You had to go scout them out, and sometimes you can get, $40,000, $50,000 in one shot.
Come on.
I mean, 1.5-inch wire, a 1/4 mile long, 4 pieces, adds up.
So, okay, so you're so that's crazy. And I did, I did know this part of your story. In fact, this is how we know each other, right?
Yes.
And I want to get back to, because this blows my mind, and I've never fully I got some more questions that I've never asked. But so you mentioned that you were incarcerated, you were a trustee, You're in West Baton Rouge. And just to catch everybody up, so I think in 2018 we did our church, Purpose Church, did a Christmas outreach at a prison. I think we brought gifts in, some food for the inmates, gifts for their kids. And I remember, it was a lot of effort. And we were a new church, and it was like, I remember I gave a message, preached a little message to the inmates, and I could tell they wanted me to shut up so that they could get back to their kids, which I agree. I would want me to shut up too. And I remember thinking, man, that was a lot of work, and I don't think anybody appreciated it. I don't think that was maybe even a good use of our time because they didn't want me there. And man, it must have been 2 years later. No, it was several years later because you've been here 2 years, 3 years.
It was 4 years later.
4 years later, I get a call from one of the guards that was there, had me either transferred or whatever to the prison that you were in. Remembered us, remembered our recovery ministry. Gave me a call, said, hey, I've got a guy. He has nowhere to go. He's got racketeering charges. And so I'm one that I don't get scared of charges. I heard racketeering and I immediately think gangster. This guy's going to be awesome. He's going to be some real OG. Told me your name, Chuck Krupnik. I was like, okay. So I'm thinking mafia, maybe he's this Italian guy. He's going to have slick back hair, gold watch, racketeering. And so I was like, yeah, we'll take him. That's awesome. Okay. Guys, I probably said that to him too. But so that's how you ended up at Restoring Purpose Ministries, which that has its own cool story. Why don't you share that? I know you shared it a while back. Just that experience you see in the church and all that.
Yeah,
that's wild.
I was on my way to New Orleans. The prison was taking me to New Orleans to get a medical checkup, and we drive right by the church, and I see Purpose Church, and I wonder what that's about. Kept on going, kept driving down the street. And I don't know about you, but when I go on a trip and I see there's a landmark that I always see that I look for on the way back.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Well, this was my landmark, and believe me, when it was my landmark, it wasn't about because it was a church. It wasn't just. I thought it was cool, Purpose Church on the side of a building. So I go down and I do my medical, and I come back and I'm looking. And sure enough, we drive right by the church again. Okay. So fast forward, I get back. I don't think nothing about the church again. I don't remember anything about it. And I come up for parole, and I get paroled. They give me your number. We called the church. We called RPM, try to get in RPM, and I get accepted. And this is 4 months later, 5 months later. I come to RPM. I go from being locked up to being moved in one of the RPM houses and left there all in one day. Come to church. That was on a Tuesday, I believe. I came to church Sunday, and I'm standing outside, and I walk around the side of the building. And I'm still not putting all this together yet. As soon as I walk around the side of the building, I look up and I see Purpose Church, and it was just like, poof.
That's wild.
I'm right where I'm supposed to be exactly at this time, and it's been a whirlwind ever since. Awesome.
Yeah, man, and the way God has used you at RPM Purpose Church, you provide at first you're completely volunteering, hey, I'm okay with not having a job. Just give me a place to live, and I'll drive these men to work. And talk about lift a load off of us. And I know a lot of the guys sometimes, didn't show appreciation, but man, you're part of changing their lives, and definitely a part of giving them the opportunity to have a different life.
And that's a funny story too about how that all came. There was a guy. He had come 2 days after me, and we're over there at the Lombard House at the time. He says, man. He drags me outside, and we're out there cutting the grass and weed eating or something. He says, man, I see you driving for these people. Man, don't say that. Don't do that. I want to get a job. I was still in me. I want to get a job. I want money. No. I got plans. I got to get moving. He said, no, I see you driving. It was Charles.
Oh, Coleman?
Harper.
Oh, yeah, Harper. Yeah.
And he said, I see you driving. And I'm like, man, of course, I said a lot of bad things to him. No, don't put that on me. 4 months later, I was driving.
Yeah.
4 months later, driving.
And it's cool to see how, like, I mean,
He,
you got a car, you got.
I got the, well, it started in a van driving. I built up my whole thing in a van driving. Now look at, I mean, like I said in my testimony, I'm a member of a church. I've had the keys to your house.
Mm-hmm.
I have your credit cards, and
Well, just so you know, like the way I was comfortable giving you the keys to my house was built in the 70s. It's got aluminum wiring.
Well, all right. Well,
so I know that it's
good.
safe from you.
No. So, so I mean, it's a whirlwind of where if somebody was knocked on my cell door and said, in 5 years I see you doing what you're doing,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
No way. It's been a trip, and it's getting better and better every day.
Come on. Yeah.
Every day.
That's awesome. Well, look, I need to get back to this copper thing. Okay, so, and I think everybody, because I mean, we've had people, stealing copper out of houses. I mean, I had to renovate a house one time that someone had stripped the copper out of it. And that's a lot of stinking work. I mean, they're like getting in there for days. I don't think you can strip it out. And, that's a vacant house. They're able to, but you're getting $50,000 to $70,000.
It happened. I mean, I've gotten my fair share like that.
So you find it, a tower, scout it out. What is the scouting process?
I put it this way: every time I went out, it wasn't less than $4,000 or $5,000.
Okay.
Or higher.
Okay.
Scouting out was easy. It was on Google Map, looking on the map for a tower.
Okay.
And then by looking at it, I could see how far away. I never, I didn't climb the tower or nothing like that. I would get the service wire.
Okay.
And I hope the statute of limitations has run out. I think they have, but I would from the tower.
You did your time.
Yeah, from the tower to the street.
Okay.
And if it was worth getting, and then I would go, middle of the night, and I did it by myself.
That's the crazy part. By yourself.
By myself.
So is this wire buried underground?
Yeah, but it's in 6-inch conduit.
Okay.
So it goes from the building to the street.
Okay. So you have 2 cuts to make.
2 cuts, live cuts. One live cut.
One live cut.
Yeah.
Do that one first or second?
First.
Okay.
And it was always close your head, close your eyes and turn your head and.
Just do it really fast and it won't shock you.
Yeah, but you gotta go easy first. Make sure you're not grounded, because you can feel it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, and then you just move around, and then when you don't feel it, then you go.
My gosh.
Oh yeah, it was bad. But that was the thrill. Once I cut the copper and I put my hand on it and it moved, it only had to move an inch. I was good. I could have walked away.
So it wasn't about the money.
It wasn't about the money. I could have walked away. And it was kind of bad. At that time, I had that little saying, if I see it, I'm getting it.
Yeah.
So if I opened up the panel and there was copper in there, I'm getting it.
Wow.
But once it moved, that was it. And I mean, it was like, it was like a raccoon not letting go of the shiny thing. I never let go of it.
Wow.
I had to get it.
Yeah. So you cut it, make the live cut, then you make the dead cut. And how do you get it out of the conduit?
Pull it.
Physically
By hand. There was a couple times I used my 4-wheeler, but 95% of the time it was by hand. Just pulling. And it would come out pretty. Once you got it moving, it would come out.
Yeah.
You had to go, you had a 90 here and you had a 90 here. And once you got it past that first 90,
those friction would allow it to.
It allowed it to come right out. Yeah.
Good Lord.
But it was a lot of work. I was in and out in 2 hours.
2 hours. And you just coil it up, put it in the back of the truck.
And gone.
Yeah.
Strip it, take it to the scrap.
So you got to strip the plastic off because you get more for it, right?
Oh, yeah. You save like $1.50 up to $2.
Wow. So how long did this go on for?
Several, about 4 or 5 years, 4 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, were there articles looking for you? Like, did you ever make the paper or anything like that?
No.
Okay.
Not until I was caught.
And did they have a cool nickname for you?
Oh yeah, I was when I got caught. It was put in the paper, or it was either put in the paper or on the news. the Copper King has been arrested.
The Copper King has
And that
been
was in
arrested.
Louisiana, yeah.
Okay.
Up north.
So you were Texas and Louisiana.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I was convicted for Louisiana.
Okay.
That's all I'm admitting. It's Louisiana.
Louisiana, yeah. The Copper King.
Copper King.
Wow. Only in Louisiana. Okay. Noted.
Yes.
Dude, that's crazy. So it went on for 4 to 5 years.
For 4 years.
4 years. You get caught. Did you know they were after you?
I mean, kinda. Just because I was foolish enough. I would go back to the same one.
After they fixed it?
Well, if I didn't get it, I figured out a way to get it, so I had to go back and get it. Like I said, if I had that mentality, if I saw it, I was getting it.
Okay.
Like for instance, and one of the towers that I did get convicted for, I couldn't get it all, so I come back. And when I came back, of course, I creep up on it in the middle of the night, and I'm looking at it, and I'm standing next to a tree, and I happen to look over, and there's a deer camera right there in the tree.
Oh, shoot.
Grab the deer camera, and then of course, there's tricks to find the deer cameras in the dark. It's very easy to do.
Really? Like with a flashlight?
No, just take your cell phone and put it on camera mode and look through it, and you'll see a little white dot.
Oh, really?
In the complete darkness.
Come on.
And you'll see a little white dot. Walk right to the dot, and that's where the camera is.
So you'd find that and be like, okay, I'm not.
No, I'd take the camera.
Oh.
I was getting the copper. Yeah, that's from. At one point I had a pile of deer cameras.
Really?
At the house. Yeah.
Wow.
So and I came back, and that is the one that led me to getting caught. Of course, I'm out in the middle of nowhere. No car, no traffic, no nothing. And out in the middle of nowhere, I drive by those low speedometer things, the speed.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing 55 and a 60, and it's flashing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm out on a country road out in the middle of nowhere, and there's one of these there.
Okay.
Didn't dawn on me, nothing like that.
Yeah.
And it had a camera on it.
Shoot.
And it took the picture of the vehicle going in and out. But I mean, at that point when they finally they come and they arrested me in Dallas, they tracked my truck to Dallas. At that point, it was over with. And
Yeah.
I could breathe. I didn't fight it. I didn't argue about it. I didn't volunteer anything. But it was over with. I didn't contest it. Yeah, that was me. You had me.
So you pled guilty?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They tried to give me 50 years.
Wow.
I'm surprised that I was not. They wanted to give me a what they call. They wanted to bill me for I forget what they called it. There's a term for it, but they wanted to give me 50 years.
Wow.
Because I had charges in like 5 or 6 different parishes.
Wow. Yeah.
And they could have gypsied me and sent me to each parish. And so they all got together and said, no, we're just going to charge you out of one parish.
So you had some favor.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess you cooperating probably helped.
Yeah, I mean, I cooperated. I didn't offer any information, but I never lied to them. If they had it, if they said it and I did it, I admitted to it. Yeah. Because it was over with. It was finally over. That whirlwind was over.
And you weren't doing this to support a drug habit either.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Just to support me.
Yeah.
And the girl that I was with.
Does she have a drug?
She had a drug problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Very bad drug problem.
Okay.
I mean, with the drugs with me, I went through my phase as a kid, and, a young adult, and it just wasn't my thing. But But I was always around it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, she had a drug problem, and I really didn't support her drug habit with it. I mean, it did. But we blew a lot of money on stupid things, and we had a brand new vehicle. We had some lawn equipment, but yeah, she gave it away to her son, to her kids. But I mean, I don't want to sit here and act like I didn't have any part. I was just with it because it was me. I did it. I own up. I'm gonna take my responsibility. But
yeah.
There were other things involved in it with us. So I get arrested and I go to court, and I still remember. They wanted to give me 50 years, and they said, "Well, we're gonna go from 40 to 25 years." And I'm just, what? And there was nothing I could do to get out of that. That was just how it was going to happen. I go to court, and the judge says, you're the reason why my cell phone was not working 2 years ago.
Oh my
I
gosh.
remember that because it was right there in that town.
Oh wow. Yeah.
He said, and I bet you everybody in this courtroom can remember that. So therefore, I'm going to give you 22 years. I got 22 years.
Because he couldn't use his cell phone.
Because he couldn't use his cell phone.
He was a victim.
And I was told that this was the nicest judge in Louisiana.
Wow.
And he gave the girl that I was with, he gave her 17 years.
Okay.
I got 22. So I wound up doing 8 off of 22, right at 8.
Okay. And she did what? 5?
She did like 4.5.
Okay.
Off of 17.
Wow. Did you do all your time in West Baton Rouge?
No, I did a little over 2.5 years up in Bossier.
Okay.
And then I came to West Baton.
Were you at all like parish jails, or were you in any big prisons?
No, I was locked up, but I didn't do the DCI or the hunts or.
To me, like, I've only visited prisons. I've never been arrested or anything. Like, to me, it seems like time in a big prison would be better than in a parish prison.
It's a lot.
It is? Okay.
That's what they say, yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I go, like, visit hunts or Angola, and there's a level of freedom. You can walk around, but then when I visit, like, East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, I've walked around the back. They call it the dungeon. You get, like, an anxiety attack. Like, low ceilings, long hallways, like.
Well, and most of your parish prisons are locked down 23.
Right.
I was, want to call it blessed. I was very blessed to go to West Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Yeah, I visited that one. I remember I went and saw my cousin in there, and, I like immediately was taken back and kind of made fun of him because he was wearing stripes. I was like, bro, you keeping it old school in West Baton Rouge.
See, I didn't even have to, at the work release, you didn't even have to wear stripes.
You didn't wear stripes? Do they still wear stripes for the inmates? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Over in the jail, not at the work release.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, back then I think they brought the trustees from the jail, walked them across the street and they worked and then went back to the jail, but they don't do that anymore.
Okay. Man, so last crimes you committed was robbing copper.
Robbing copper.
Wow.
Well, robbing copper, that's stealing copper.
Stealing copper, not robbing.
Robbing. I mean, and there's funny stories all involved in doing that. I've been chased by cows. I'll give you an example. I went into one tower and there's like this white stuff all over the place. And what is that? It's not clicking. What is that? And the first thing I do is I go over and I touch the electrical panel. And when I opened it, it popped and made a noise. And then, the world just came unglued. I thought that a helicopter was coming down. I was waiting for the light because it just went loud. And I look up and there's probably 1,000 buzzards. I done knocked them off their roost making that noise. Oh, it scared me. But of course, that mentality, I saw the copper when I opened the door, so I was getting it. And I got 1,000 buzzards flying over my head. They're crapping on me and all. It didn't matter. I was getting the copper. Chased by cows, chased by coyotes.
Really?
Opened up one of the boxes and there were
Wasp,
bees.
I'm sure, yeah.
But I learned real quick, they don't fly at night.
Oh, really?
They don't. You can stick your hand in there and move them around, touch them. Bees do not fly at night.
Like honeybees?
All bees.
All bees.
Apparently.
Wow.
I mean, you should know that, don't you?
I should.
I moved them out of the way because they were where I needed to cut.
Yeah, I don't mess with bees.
Wasps, the big ones.
Wasp. I kill those suckers.
Rattlesnakes laying there.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
It didn't matter.
Did you, I guess the people at the scrapyard knew you.
Oh, yeah. I had a very good relationship with them.
And they probably knew. They just didn't ask any questions.
They didn't ask no questions. They didn't write no receipts, and they didn't take no pictures.
Okay.
I was never caught.
Would they give you cash?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In Dallas, they give you cash. I don't think they do it now. They might.
Yeah. Wow.
Sometimes he would give me half, and he'd have to run to the bank and go get more.
Man,
We had a
so
very,
he
very-
liked you.
Oh yeah, we had a very
'Cause
good
did
relationship.
he pay you less than other people?
Yeah, he would take a quarter a pound. So
Okay.
if it was $4 a pound, I was getting $3.75
Okay.
a pound. Yeah. So
Huh.
I've thought about writing like AT&T or Verizon or something and be a consultant, tell them how not to get their towers ripped off.
It's a good idea. Yeah.
I think I could do it.
Yeah.
A few easy fixes.
So are they still susceptible? I mean, it still would be easy to rob one.
Oh yeah.
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 Man, you ought to do that.
It's. I went to Dallas a couple months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably the first time that I took a ride. Now keep in mind, I drove that same route.
Yeah. Did you see your old friends, the towers?
Yeah, I saw them, but I quit looking. Oh, that would be a good one. Oh, that's a good one. And there's a couple good ones around here. I've looked. I've looked.
I mean, there's been times where the ministry's gotten kind of desperate financially,
Man, no. 22 years is a lot.
That's a long time.
It's a long.
That's a long time. Yeah.
Rightfully so.
No kidding. No kidding. Man, so that's a wild way to make a living. And you kept it up for 4 years. Got out, got free. Now you're, living a good life. Happy.
Happy.
Yeah. You're on the leadership team with Restore and Purpose Ministries. It's a recovery ministry helping so many men either coming out of prison or out of rehab. I mean, but you don't just drive. You know what I mean? Like I think you know that you're investing in these men. You're a part of changing their lives.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I like helping the men, but I will tell you that a lot of driving is where I really get to connect.
Yeah.
And really and get to learn the guys, and I'm getting pulled away from that a little bit more with the leash, which I'm fine with. But it's still nice to jump back in and
Yeah.
because I get them in their best mood in the morning, and I get them in their worst mood in the afternoon. So I hear both. And
Yeah.
it's very fun.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, there's been some shenanigans at RPM over the years. I mean, I think is it May, we're turning 10 years old as a ministry. Is that what it is? Is it May?
May.
Yeah, May. Decade old ministry. And we have had some crazy things happen. I mean, I could go on and on with all the stories. But I'm sure you have all your own from your experience. So, like, what is a day in the life for you? So, give me what's a day? Like, what is a day for you? And then give us a fun story.
A day for me starts at like anywhere from 3:30 to 4 o'clock in the morning. I get up and I take spend my time with God, and read my Bible a little bit, and then start the driving. And I'm taking guys to work. And a fun story, I don't know if I would call it. I mean, there's been times. I mean, wow.
Well, it's not fun in the moment, but I think we can look back on this and laugh. I mean, one of mine that I was infuriated by is this guy that I was really exhausting myself trying to help this young guy, and he stole the van. Like he stole the RPM van that we use for transportation.
I heard that story.
Yeah, and he didn't just steal it to go to the store. He stole it. He goes out to Tigerland, to Fred's, drinking with two of the other guys in the house. Then they go down to, down the street, South Baton Rouge, to buy some Coke in the ministry van.
Oh, well, okay, all right. I had one of those stories just a week ago.
Okay.
We had a gentleman that wasn't making it, and he found out the program wasn't with him, so we had to take him downtown to, I don't know what apartment complex it was, but apparently it was pretty bad. So I take a couple of guys with me. Of course, this guy's in the van, and he's talking to himself, and he's saying crazy stuff. We all thought he was on the phone, but he didn't even have a phone. Okay, so this is not what I dealt with in my lifetime. I didn't have to never deal with stuff like that. And he's, like I said, he's talking to himself, he's yelling at himself, and then he's answering himself. And we pull up to the apartment, and he jumps out and he says, "Man, I'll be right back. I'm going up there to this apartment to get something. I'll be right back." Okay, so everybody else in the band is like, "Okay, I'm freaking by this time. No, I'm not waiting for him to come down with a gun or nothing." So, man, I said, "Sit that stuff right there on the curb. Let's go. So we sit the stuff on the curb and we leave.
What is like his personal belongings?
Yeah, it was just 2 trash bags full of clothes. And I said, let's go. Well, them guys ribbed me the whole time. I said, "What, that's your first drive-by shooting?" They're still teasing me about that because I was scared. It scared me.
Oh, you thought he was going to shoot?
I didn't know what he was going to do. And
so y'all just left him there?
Well, that was where he was going, but I think I don't know what he wanted to go upstairs for.
So you were like bringing him, like he was exiting
the
program?
He was exiting the program. We were taking him
okay.
home.
Okay.
And he didn't even give me a chance to say, "No, dude, you got to get your stuff." He just jumped out and was gone. I'm like, man, so, a couple of guys like Big D, they were just goofing on me about the drive-by shooting, asked me if I was all right. Yeah, it was pretty bad. So, yeah. So, and the guys, they don't like it when I sing, when I drive, and I'm singing Christmas carols in the middle of the summer. And so,
you do like to aggravate people.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a common bond between you and I. We like aggravating.
Oh yes, I can aggravate very good.
I was telling one of the guys, so the other night at Outreach, you had told me about one of the guys had had a visit from his girlfriend, and
Yes.
you're like, yeah, we saw him making out with her. She was old, like really old lady. Well, I went and I said, "Hey, I heard you got a girlfriend." I didn't tell you this. I went to him. I said, "I heard you got a girlfriend." He goes, "I don't have a girlfriend." I said, "I heard you were making out with your girlfriend." He goes, "Man, that's just Chuck making up stuff."
No, somebody else. I saw that very end, the tail end of it, but somebody else said, "Yeah, they was going to town in the parking lot." Yeah, he got me. Did you tell him it was me?
No, he just knew.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So here we sit 5 years later.
Yep. It's been 5 years since you got in. No, not since you got in
No,
car.
5 years. Well, 5 years in Baton Rouge.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I count the time, and no, it's actually been, what, 6 years?
6 years in Baton Rouge. The majority in West Baton Rouge.
Yeah, the only thing I knew about Baton Rouge was the song that Garth Brooks sang.
Yeah.
That was it. I'd never been here before in my life.
Wow.
And I can honestly say I probably won't leave.
Wow. I hope not.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
What a great story, though. I mean, just the way God aligned everything just to fall into place, for you. And I love how you say with such confidence that you found your purpose.
Yeah, I mean, I had no clue. Like I've said in my testimony before, that the only thing I knew about God and anything like that was just how to spell it.
Yeah.
That was it. I mean, now it's just to watch him move in my life and other men's life is unbelievable. And I was thinking about this, and I've been thinking, it's been on my heart for the last couple of days. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I mean, it's satisfying, and it's nice to see, but like when we did the kid outreach the other night, I mean, that was just fun.
Yeah.
There was nothing, Yeah, well, like I said, we're helping kids that need help, and we're giving away clothes and that. But then But personally, for me, it's just fun.
Yeah, I agree. The way Christ or a Christian lifestyle was presented to me in high school was not fun. In fact, it was like, if it's fun, it's bad. And it was like a list of, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And no even reason why. Like, there was no it was not. It was presented in a very like negative way to a high schooler, especially. Like, and I'm wired to like I love fun, I love action, I love excitement, I love risk. You know, I'm not a fearful person, a fear-filled person. But like once you really get into living for Jesus, like, and not just kind of doing it, like showing up for the outreaches, showing up for it is fun. I think I don't know if it's fun in every church environment, but in a life-giving church environment, it's fun. You know, where like we can joke around, we can have fun, you know, and sometimes maybe a joke would go too far, but we're real dudes joking around, loving Jesus, you know, and it is so much fun.
It did very fun for me. I grew up that way too. You know, I'm not trying to bash a religion or anything, but I grew up Catholic, and it was a mess for me. It turned me away from it.
Really?
Yeah. Nothing ever happened personally to me, but just watching what was going on in the Catholic Church, we didn't get along. I mean, I went my senior year in high school. I went to a Catholic high school, all boys Catholic high school, because of the baseball team. So yeah, we just didn't get along. We didn't do very well. So I turned away from it for 40 years. 30 years.
So, I mean, when you came to Purpose, I mean, is that where you found Christ and established?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. So no jailhouse religion?
No. I mean, I went to church. I went to church because I thought, you know, of course, I had the mentality like every prisoner. You go to church, start doing the right thing, he's going to do something for you and get you out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like God would do the right thing or do something for you?
Yeah. Not me doing the right thing.
No. Well, it's cool that you had that. That is an element of faith, though. That even, if I do this, God, so it's acknowledging his existence and power.
But that was the only, there's a lot that comes with that.
Yeah.
And what comes with that, I wasn't even paying attention to. So.
Wow. So you have found Christ while you've been at Purpose, RPM.
I guess the day I found Christ was the day I drove by this church.
Really?
Yeah. It changed. Something changed.
Wow.
Right. And I can still go back to that moment and feel it. That day.
That's such an incredible story, and I remember, Danny McLaughlin. He was one of my first guests on this show. He's got an insane story that he told me, that this dream he had at rehab, and it was so like incredible. I was like, he had to have made that. He heard that somewhere, and so I Googled it, fact checked it. I told him all this. He's like, dude, that's messed up. You didn't believe me, but you need to ask him to tell you a story. It's crazy. Maybe I'll have him on the show again to tell this story, because it was an unbelievable story. But man, every time you've told me, I think you've told me that story 3 times. It's just amazing. That moment passing by on I-12.
And if you look at the map, there is no reason in the world.
That's what I can't understand. Why did they go, if they're going to New Orleans, why did they come this way?
The only reason I can think of is that they just came straight down Airline off the old bridge. Straight down Airline.
Oh, and then got on Interstate and then took the loop to 10. That makes no sense. That's awesome. That's a cooler point. Another great point of the story, that just, it was God arranging everything.
And why did we there was a reason why. I want to say because he wanted to go across the old bridge, and he just came straight down Airline.
I mean, the old bridge is much closer to the prison, so
it was right next door to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he just came straight.
And
down
if that Lobdell traffic or something like that. Okay, in prison, did you have a shank?
No.
No?
It was on a work release.
Did you make toilet wine?
No. No toilet wine, no toys, none of that. No.
Did you make any, like, this one prisoner, he was on death row, he made me a cross out of trash bag, like string or something.
I tried to do it. I couldn't do it. I don't have the patience for it. You got to know how to braid and all that.
You're just not
stuff.
A crafty one, are you?
No. My attention span is not very long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to sit there and do it. But to watch them do it, I mean, I've watched them make jewelry boxes out of playing cards. Have you ever
Really?
seen those?
Uh-uh.
Oh, with the lid and everything. Oh yeah, playing cards, jewelry
Wow.
boxes, necklaces, lights. Oh,
The innovation in prison, it's crazy what these guys can.
I've seen them do it all.
Yeah. Wow. So, what's next for you?
Living the dream. I don't plan that far ahead. I guess I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure God's got something for me to do.
Absolutely. You feel satisfied?
Satisfied, but it's just begun.
Yeah. I like that.
It's just begun.
Yeah.
Just begun.
Well, man, I tell you all the time, I'm so thankful for you. You've been a part of changing so many lives. Your obedience is admirable to God. The weight that you carry for RPM, for Purpose Church, for me, I'm so thankful for all the times that you willing to help me or help the guys, what you've done for them, getting them to work, helping them to get jobs is amazing. And I admire the spirit of servanthood that is within you. And I'm so thankful for what God's done in your life. And yet the best is yet to come. I mean, RPM is, we're just kind of like, we're hitting 10 years, but we've had some hard blows over the years. We're getting our bearings. Things are lining up. Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I could do it without you, but I wouldn't want to.
Well, I keep going back. I remember you telling me a couple years ago, don't leave before the miracle happens.
Mm.
You said that to me, and that stuck with me. And you kind of touched a little bit on like the money issue and obedient to tithing and all that. And I don't make much money, but I don't go without.
Mm.
I don't go without.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
I don't go without anything that I need.
Yeah.
And I can honestly sit here and say I don't go without.
Wow.
I have everything that I need.
Yeah.
It's about being obedient, about
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. And that whole thought that me saying don't leave before for the miracle. I mean, that's what keeps me going.
I remember the day that you said it to me was out there on the side of the church. We were out there. I think we were pulling weeds, or getting ready to pull weeds, and that's what you told me. Matter of fact, when was that? We were doing something, loading up a trailer. I don't know exactly what we're doing, but I remember you telling me that, and that stuck with me and stuck with me and stuck with me.
I love it. And just so appreciate you. And I know I've always wanted you to know how valuable you are to our ministry. You keep it running, man. You're so valuable to that ministry.
It's fun.
It is.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm having.
Oh, it's
fun.
a great group of guys to hang out with.
It is.
They all joke
walks
around.
of life
Yeah.
and just. I mean, we have our moments, but all walks of life, all different kinds. We get along. We all get along pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. Well, man, I appreciate you spending the time sharing your life with us, and appreciate again all that you do. But being willing to come on here and talking about the days of the Copper King.
Yeah, let's just hope nobody else heard it that's not supposed to. Like, wait a minute, I know about that tower.
You didn't have anything to do with that.
No.
You got busted for everything you did.
I did. I did my time.
Did your time. You're a free man in more ways than one.
Yes.
Well, any closing thought?
Just waiting for the miracle.
Amen. Waiting for the miracle. Well, I appreciate you, Chuck Krupniksky. Is that how you say it? Krupniksky?
That's how they used to say it.
Krupniksky.
If you Google Krupnik, it's a vodka.
Dude, you know what's crazy? Dinkel's a German name. Dinkellacker is a beer.
Yeah, we're some kind of vodka.
Polish.
Polish.
It's probably that dumb vodka.
Yeah, it makes you dumb. Don't drink it. Watch it.
That's stupid. This vodka's stupid.
Yeah, that's where the stupid saying came from.
Chuck the Polak, man.
The Polak. I've been called the Polak my whole life.
All right, Chuck. Well, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Love you, dude.
I love you too.
You're the man.
Thank you.